Trying to keep up with the hard news stories of the day is challenging enough, and it's made more difficult with the fact that most of the media is biased and unfair to truth. Here are the facts of the matter. Well, on my daily website, MikeHuckabee.com, I addressed the topic of General Mike Flynn, who had an over 30-year stellar career in the U.S. military as a highly decorated soldier, and who had worked his way to being named President Trump's national security advisor, but was then charged with lying to the FBI, and not only lost his job, but lost his home because of hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, and then lost his previously unstained reputation. It's now clear he was railroaded by a politically motivated FBI leadership. The shocking story is now being revealed, and it involves entrapment, abuse of power, and malicious prosecution from since disgraced and fired FBI Director, Assistant FBI Director Andrew McCabe, and the infamous FBI agent who once bragged that he could smell Trump voters at a Virginia Walmart. Then he was later exposed as having an illicit affair with another FBI agent who spoke openly of trying to make sure that Donald Trump didn't win, and if he did, to discredit him. Now, here's why all that matters to you. If law enforcement agencies can use their very powerful power to target political enemies, prosecute them with concocted charges, and ruin their lives and destroy their families, then we are no better than the brutal dictatorships in third world countries that trade a rule of law for the law of the jungle. If those at the highest levels of the Department of Justice and FBI get away with this, forget about losing elections. We've lost our country. Well, we get questions from viewers on issues in our news, and we wanted to share a couple and respond. We got this from Larry the Patriot, who lives in Galveston, Texas. He says, how does Beto O'Rourke lose a Senate here in Texas and then become the hot ticket for the Democrats as a presidential candidate? Can you make any sense out of this? In a word, no. Oh, it makes no sense other than the American electorate seems more enamored with the candidate's looks and charisma or ability to make a speech than as to whether his or her judgment, experience, and preparation really makes one fit for office. Now, for someone who raised more money for a Texas Senate race than most people will ever raise for a presidential race, and who still lost by a fairly large margin, it's kind of hard to understand why people think that he really wasn't ready to be senator, but he's ready to be president because he's good at skateboarding. I'm thinking, maybe I should have taken up skateboarding before running for president. Well, we also got this from Bridget, who lives in York, Pennsylvania. She asked about Representative Catherine Clark from Massachusetts, who is spearheading a bill to recognize abortion as, listen to this, a guaranteed human right. So the question is, what do you think of this, and can we stop it? Well, the irrational defense of killing unborn babies is a sign of a very sick civilization and society. In biblical times, child sacrifice was such an evil practice that God condemned it and demanded that those cultures be eradicated. It's kind of hard for us to invoke God's blessings on America when we kill 600,000 babies in their mother's womb each year. Now, we can be glad the number is down from over 1 million a year from just a few years ago. But it is hardly something to boast about that we're only killing 600,000 babies now. So like slavery, we have to someday believe that all persons are truly created equal and that some aren't more or less valuable than others. Treating people as disposable property, whether because they're black or Jews or disabled, or because they're babies, that ought to be repulsive to every single one of us. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this segment, and we'd love for you to send in your own questions or thoughts on the stories in the news so that we can all take a moment to share the facts of the matter together.